You are live.
What is
Michael
up,
and
everyone?
Lars.
Here in the Monster Factory with my very pleasant guest, Lars Rørbakken. Man, dude, time has flown.
Yeah.
I mean, it's went by really, really fast.
1 week, so
I don't even know how. Like, you go home tomorrow, it's crazy.
yeah.
Needless to say, you have inspired me to be a better athlete.
Thank you, and right back at you.
Well, I mean, I just looking at you and being around you, it makes me second guess my life choices. I'm thinking, do I really want to be super heavyweight and super strong and go after Levan, or I just want to be crazy fit like Lars? I'm going to stick with my current goal, but afterwards,
Then you can.
I want to be
back
like
to it.
I want to be
Yeah,
like Lars.
yeah.
Yeah. So what have you? Okay, we've done a lot. We've done a lot. Even Jeremy's asking how your arms feel. We've done a lot.
We done a lot.
So
As soon as I arrived, you text my
Flexors,
text
yeah,
my
yeah,
flexors.
forms, yeah.
So we struggle with that all the time, but we have put in the work anyway, and feels great.
I mean, I think it's been
I'm
a great time.
sore, but it is great.
It's good soreness. It's good soreness.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so what he's talking about is the first day he got here, and this is where we did make a mistake. We tested your pronation yesterday, and this is what's crazy. So day one, he's here, and we're doing our training, whatever, and I think we pull down to 119.
Yeah.
And you just grab it and crank it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Easy lift, nothing to it. So we, at that point, do not try to find out what his 1 rep max is, because we figure we'll do it later, and then he'll start, 75% of that, 80% of that, and start his programming. Well, we have a lot of work between day one and yesterday, and then what happened when you tried the 119 yesterday?
I couldn't move it.
I mean, it's just crazy. Like, palm gets turned up, everything's like, how's all this failure happening? It just lets you know how much work we've done since you've been here. But day one, we put you through the wrist roll circuit that morning with battle ropes, and
Yeah.
then that day's workout, which even doubled it up, was the back workout with the
Yeah.
spinning handles. When you do that much spinning handle work, especially with cable pulls and wrist rolls, and we did rice buckets and pronation and did all that shit that day. Yeah, the flexors were pretty well shot.
yeah.
Then we went into the live arm workout, which we did that. We did all the other stuff that day too. We did the live arm workout. Then we had practice with Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot. So I actually took today off my pronation lifts because I missed a pronation lift yesterday. I kind of had a feeling that I would, and I did like your remark. He's like, did you really think you were going to get it after all the arm wrestling we did? He said, I was going to feel pretty bad had you got that pronation lift.
Yeah,
after
because I was doing my favorite move.
Oh my
like
God,
crazy
yeah,
on your
yeah.
arm, so
Yeah, so holding that press.
if that hadn't touched you at all, then what I am.
Man, let me tell you. So great work, great work. I know we're going to have some questions to talk about here. What has been your favorite thing since you've been? And I mean, you don't have to. I mean, I'm just curious because I think they may be wondering what have you enjoyed the most?
Rebecca's food.
Rebecca's food.
No, everything is so great. You have everything. You have your gym, all this facility. 1 minute, not 1 minute, 1 second work from
the room.
Yeah, everything's so great. And of course, that's partly why I'm here, to take me to the next level, because as I told you, I've only been table time since I
Right.
did my comeback 1 year ago. So now I need to improve. I know, see how much work you do. High volume, high reps, heavy, everything.
Right.
Yeah, I have to adapt to that.
I'm super excited to see where this takes you, right? And like you said, go home, do it, have some matches, keep training, come back, see where you are again.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we're going to come see you in Norway next year,
Yeah.
so that's going to be amazing. But yeah, dude, I've really enjoyed. It's been a very pleasant week just having you here. Like, it really has. Crazy thing is, so I do X amount of work a day, right? Well, then I know that Lars's level of fitness is so extreme. I'm like, so what are you doing? Well, I'm gonna go do another 30 minutes of treadmill, and then I'm gonna stretch for 30 minutes. I'm gonna do another 30 minutes. So I posted that video of him stretching, basically a full split, standing on the thing, and that's just the guy just constantly is training. He has to be doing something. So it doesn't compare to the hiking in the Nordic mountains, but we did take him on a couple of our little favorite trails here. We just got back from going downtown, the promenade and stuff.
Nice town.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun, and like you said, it's nice to have be this close to
Nature.
nature. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do like about living here, Rebecca, and I like the most is we're not too far away to just go find peace and quiet, right? You can just go find a trail, get in the mountains, get out in nature, and it's a very refreshing time, and that's what I've enjoyed. So, seeing your life, that what you do, like I even said it today, I would love to find a way or a way that I could come to Norway and do like a 6 or 8 week
We have to find a way.
camp and
Bring the dogs.
just be like Lars, you know what I'm saying? Just like live your life and basically die every day, because that's what it would take. So we have a super chat from Caleb Williams. Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, I'm actually on. If you would like for me to
Yeah,
read
go for it. Go ahead, babe.
Okay, just make sure.
It's just first time I've ever actually been able to see the stuff, because
Well,
normally.
then read it.
No, you go for it. Go ahead. No big deal.
Alrighty, guys, I figured out how to get myself on here. Caleb Williams says, I was sad I didn't get to post my day 10 of Gennady crying meme. I feel like you're getting to a point where very few people can pin you. That's exciting. My question, thank you so
Thanks
much,
for the support. Appreciate it.
Caleb, for that super chat. My question is for Lars. Forget that Michael's sitting next to you. Accurate assessment of where you think Michael is along the road to his goal.
I think he's getting there. I pulled Michael back in June. He won, obviously, but I could do something, and I really think I could do something serious if I get a little bit better stop. But now, he's a different level.
So you're
Completely different level. Yeah, it's...
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's not a little bit, it's a lot.
Well, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We talked about that today, but I truly believe it is specific to the training that I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's extremely specific to that pronation engaged back pressure, development and engagement of the riser, and then the pronation. Engaging these things as I apply my maximum pressure really does have a big benefit, you know. So that's exciting to me, because I haven't done as much table time this time around, right? Because I want to make sure I hit all my numbers. But having you here and having you have such an accurate assessment of where my level was just a few months back, or even, I guess it's 4 months ago, that's great information to have, you know.
Yeah, it is. It makes you confident.
It definitely helps. It definitely helps.
You see the numbers. My honest opinion, not because you're sitting here, but I think you are back at your strongest now. And you're going to be even stronger.
And so that's the thing. Arm wrestling specific movements. I don't know what you're doing over there. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. My wife's doing some sort of yoga stretching. I don't know.
Jeremy said that I was a little bit quiet. Jeremy, am I sounding better now? I had to get up beside my mic.
There you go. But yeah, I want to talk. I mean, you know, when you're training and you feel strong, it's very easy to say, I'm the strongest I've ever been. Blah, blah, blah. And I am the strongest I've ever been on arm wrestling specific movements. Yeah. For the most part, which could easily translate to me being the strongest I've ever been on the table. But I refuse to say I'm the strongest I've ever been until I am stronger than I've ever been on everything. You know what I mean? And whether that'll ever happen.
Everything related to arm wrestling.
Okay, well, if I said that, then I'm probably pretty close. But I mean, I want to get back to. And then when I first asked you, like, what are some of your previous records, and you said you've done a 410 kilogram deadlift, guys. That's 902 pounds. There's like 50 or 60 people on earth who've ever pulled that much weight. I am never going to be one of those guys.
that wouldn't benefit you anyway to put that much energy into do a deadlift, right?
Well, see, that's the thing. I understand and that's where Devin's approach. You know, I've kind of embraced a lot of what Devin was doing, because look what Devin accomplished without a power background or base like you have or even I have, right? It showed the arm wrestling specific movements truly make that much of a difference. Yeah. And that's the whole point. This moving forward, this ultimate goal is a shot at Levan. And in my mind, if I can get this similar strengths, if I can surpass Devin's strengths on his specific arm wrestling movements, and I have to surpass them because I don't have his leverage. No. You know, I don't have the same levers he does, so I have to. You can surpass them, and you can have a stronger body in general. That's the whole. That's what I think it's going to take. Yeah. That's what I think it's going to take, and I do think we're moving in the right direction. So for sure.
Well, we've got some questions on here first. First, because I haven't done it yet, I want to welcome everybody to the live. Thank you so much for tuning in to Monster Michael, Todd, and Lars for a Q&A session. We've been very excited to have Lars here. If anybody would like to write the aviation place and tell him, I don't know, Lars doesn't need to fly for the next week or so, we'd like to keep him. I mean, especially with someone that is so complimentary of my cooking. Makes me feel good, okay? So, I have absolutely loved having him here, and he's given us a lot of insight also that I think is going to help Michael moving forward. Now, if you are new to us on Facebook or on YouTube, be sure that you follow or subscribe, and be sure that you turn on that bell for notifications to know when we are going live. We are going to be putting up a video, I think Sunday or Monday.
Probably going to be Monday.
Right,
yeah.
of Michael and Lars' time here. They've got some pulling on there and
Yeah.
some hiking and some other stuff, I think. that
Pretty
you
pretty
have
sure we
to-
ice our arms for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They told me I look like a mute translator on the TV because I'm all
A little square. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe even some stretching tonight. I'm gonna make him.
Listen, I love you.
I love
We
you.
got movie theater room
I
tonight.
know, you
Yeah.
can
You
stretch in
you're not my
front of
boss.
me.
You're not my boss.
You're ill informed. But Lars even agrees that with your back issues,
Yeah.
opening up some mobility is gonna make you better on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, and I feel like that's a great morning thing to do.
We're gonna do that tonight.
Tomorrow morning
So,
sounds good to me.
anyways, well, I have a cameraman here, so I'm doing it. So very excited to have you guys on here. Let me read a little bit of what's going on. I need to back up just a little bit. Al Sims, this is a really good to know because there's a really good answer to this. I'm gonna let these guys answer. Al Sims says, is Lars going to join the Pronation gang now? The art of Pronation.
For sure.
Absolutely,
For sure.
right? So-
Michael already have what you call it?
Programming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
programming.
we-
So I will do what he tells me now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we do believe his pronation is higher than what he did on day one. But we did, like I said, in hindsight, we should have went ahead and tested everything that day before we totally killed ourselves this week. But we're still going to go with a rough assessment of that being his pronation PR. Go down to like 80%. We started today on day one, and probably going to be 1 pound increase because we already know he's greater than what he showed on day one. So it's just going to be a daily pronation lift, doing doubles all the way up till probably for the first 2 weeks. Then he'll switch over to singles and pretty much stay at a pound increase. And if it does start to get heavy, we'll drop to 0.75 or half a pound increase daily. And then, basically up to a week before your match,
Yeah.
come back from the match, reassess, find out what your new PR is, go to 75% of that,
Yeah.
start the process over, right? What's cool about it, he's like, yeah, because he hikes and does all this other crazy stuff. He's like, well, I'll just take my pronation with me and I'll just do it. And I was like, because
Yeah.
that's how dedicated the guy's crazy.
In the mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome to see,
So the real sex says, hello, is Lars sleeping in Michael's home?
Of course, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, when he came, it was like, come here, we have plenty of room. So, inside the main house, there's a somewhat of a guest quarters, in-law quarters, whatever you call it. It's got its own entrance to the outside, full bath, everything you need in there. So he just can stay there and then have complete access to the gym whenever you want. And
it's like living in a luxury hotel. So,
well, it
having
is.
the time of my life.
It's cool that you appreciate using the gym, right? Because
Yeah.
some people would just be a big wasted space of stuff, and you being the athlete you are, you're fully taking advantage of everything. And I like to see that. Puts a smile on my face.
Mine too. I enjoy his enthusiasm. It's a lot of fun.
And like you said, he has helped me quite a bit already. So things that would have been like I've been having a lot of trouble with my stomach and intestines and everything for the last month, essentially. Go ahead.
Actually, let me lead into that because that starts to answer a question right here. Someone says, Viter Day Victor says, oi oi. Is it a game changer for you this trip, Lars? And I actually think it's been a big change for both of you. You guys chat on that.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll take it first. Like I said, I've been dealing with a lot of issues the last month or so, and out of purely being naive, I every morning for a very long time just take all my pills in the morning on an empty stomach. And it was only after I vocalized it to Lars and Rebecca, and Rebecca's like, well, a lot of those things you need to have with food. And then Lars like, how many pills are you taking? Yeah, that's the problem. You don't do, I didn't even think about it. It's just naive. I just woke up every morning and I didn't want to forget them, so I took them all.
And just for those people watching at home, the pills that we're talking about are vitamins. We're talking about vitamin K, vitamin D, and both of those things are supposed to be taken with food.
Yeah, calcium,
Yeah,
I mean,
calcium.
the potassium citrate.
Because they cause stomach upset.
It was like
and-
40 pills that I would take in the morning on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do I feel so bad?
No, we know.
Now we know, so we have the answer. But yeah, I mean, could it be a game changer for you? The thing is, Lars already has 20 plus years of arm wrestling, 20 plus years of elite level strength.
Yeah, but not like you. I'm trying a lot and I do a lot, but I've never been into like how much can you do with your forearms.
Right.
And the level I see you do is so crazy. I didn't think it was possible. I've seen Devin done it.
Yeah.
But I see you do it as well. So I have to game up a lot and maybe cut down a little bit on my other stuff. A little bit.
And the thing is, that's what's so impressive about you is your ability to do so many things well, right? But as we were discussing, you can either do a lot of things well or you can do a couple things at the highest level.
Yeah.
And I know where you're at currently. I know you're possibly starting a family, some things like that. But within the next year or so, there's going to be this version of Lars that has some big goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see that. And you're still young, man. I mean, you're 45. I'm 51. You got plenty of time.
Yeah. In arm wrestling, I'm young.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Alrighty. So let me go back. Martin Mayotte. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering your name. He says, you guys are part of a generation that's making arm wrestling cool again. Where do you see it at 5 to 10 years from now? And who do we need to talk to bring an over the top 2 with a bunch of you guys fighting for the big rig? You know, we've actually talked about going on the road, Michael and I.
Yeah.
You know, like what'd you tag?
Yeah, with tag team over the road driving, just Rebecca and I always talk about different things. We love our life. We're truly blessed. But we also are people who just want to live and see things and live, experience the world. So it's funny, we were driving to, was this when we were going to this was just when we went to Honduras, like we was driving to Memphis, right? We pulled over and every time I eat, I have to do a 10-minute walk. So we would pull over to the truck stop, walking. I'm like, hey, what do you think about getting one of these diesels? But yeah, what do I think arm wrestling is going to be in 5 years? I think arm wrestling is in the best place it's ever been ever right now. Sure. We've never had paid attendance fans like we've experienced at East versus West 12 and 14 and things like that. And I think that's just the beginning. And now that Engen's partnered with Robert Baxter with a North American, really focusing on North American promotion and branding. I mean, 5 years from now, it would not be impossible or unrealistic to think that their arm wrestling could potentially have household names who are their top stars, right?
It should be possible now. It should.
Yeah, I mean, and I've told you some of the ideas I have here that I think could be really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man, arm wrestling, I think, is in a very good place. I mean, there's so many things. So as a child, like a youth who started arm wrestling, my goal was always to be in the Olympics. I wanted at one point come home to my hometown and say, welcome to hometown of World Arm Wrestling Champion, Olympic gold medalist, Monster Michael Todd. It would have been Michael Todd at the time because I wasn't Monster yet, but that's what I thought was going to happen. There's going to be this big billboard, kind of like, who's a race car driver in Batesville? Mark
Martin.
Mark Martin. So when you go to his town, there's a big sign, right?
NASCAR.
Yeah, that's what I said. What did I say?
Race car.
NASCAR. There you go, babe. Appreciate it. But, that's not going to be the reality. Arm wrestling is not going to go to the Olympics.
But it doesn't need to either.
I don't think so. That's exactly what I was trying to get to. So where do you think arm wrestling is going to be in? We just talked about where it's at right now, probably the best place. What do you think in 5 years? Do you think it's...
I think if we do it right now as a community, it will blow up. It already started.
Yeah, you were even saying in Norway that anyone who follows strength knows the top guys.
Yeah, they know your name, they know Devon and the top guys.
Right.
Getting recognized everywhere now. So it's definitely the best.
I mean, you've been around this thing for 20 plus years, so that is, that's a cool experience to have the sport that you love so much get the type of recognition like that.
Yeah.
So we have another super chat. Murphy, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Lars' match against Valera, the huge Russian, was great to watch. What a fight. How'd you feel in it?
Thank you. He was strong. I think I got him with my endurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he before or after Mettering?
After. Yeah, it was the second match.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Both of those matches were really good matches.
Good stuff. And we even talked about today, he was telling me that, after the first couple of rounds, he's like, man, this guy's too strong. And then Devin runs up, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, you can beat this guy. And then it's because we're just both talking about how we both are. We want that confidence. And when we have the confidence, we perform at such a higher level. It's just, if you don't have that confidence going into trying to do something, we are both people who could second guess ourselves, right? And that's kind of where he was at in that match until Devin, hey, what are you doing? Wake up. I mean, you
got a lot of help from Devin that time.
Yeah. So, Sandra Holland, is that someone? No, that's not who you're talking. You're talking about some. Was it
Sandra Rowland?
No, I guess it's Sandra Torbjörnsson.
Okay, Holland says, what mountains are you going to when MMT comes to Norway? The little ones.
The little ones. The little ones, yeah. This is, even you made a comment that day. It's like, listen, bro, before you come, you might want to work on your cardio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have a famous mountain in Norway, and the one you sent to me this morning is called Preikestolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that you should be okay with that.
Yeah.
It's like me and Sandra is talking about walking the one you showed me in Dubai. That's like
Yeah.
Trolltunga.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more.
That's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, but if you're down to 115, you should be able to do it.
Well, it won't happen anytime
Sin-
soon.
Sin-
You know what I'm saying?
Sindra haven't been there yet still, so
Really?
we can
Okay.
take Sindra with us.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, this whole being down to 115 is at least until after summer of next year, right? So, but we are talking about it being a summer trip, so who knows?
What about around our anniversary?
Who knows? Yeah,
I'm
I mean-
thinking after or before the anniversary, not the week of the anniversary, just because flying within the U.S. is, ridiculous.
Well, then you just fly before and you stay there and you come back. I mean, you just stay there during the anniversary.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
All right, so Kevin has a suggestion.
All right.
For a match for the Valera that just arm wrestled Lars. What do y'all think about Valera versus Brian Shaw?
Honestly, that could be a decent match if Brian continues to progress.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know where Brian's at because we're not seeing any of the footage, right? We're not seeing any of the training footage, which he personally said he's keeping to himself, right? Like that's how he likes to approach the training in sports. He doesn't want to give away everything. Do you need to go check on the dogs?
I think I need to go see what they're.
Yeah, I mean
Just
they're
keep talking about
losing
that.
their mind, right?
Talking about that.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see Brian Shaw. I really am because
We all are. Yeah.
exactly. I mean, a 6'8", 400+ pound, strongest grip, one of the strongest grips in the world, obviously, and the fact that he's so obsessive when he trains. If he can take that, and apparently everything we see on social, he's looking like he's pretty obsessed with arm wrestling at the moment. I don't know. See, people talked about Kirill Sarchev because he, top bencher in the world at one point, world record bench presser. It's also a tall guy, like 6'6" or something, big fella, big frame. I mean, I would think that Kirill has more experience and would be a favorite now. Because wouldn't you think Kirill would beat Valera?
If I think Brian Shaw will beat him,
Do you think Kirill would beat Valera?
no.
You don't think so?
No,
Valera,
yeah,
the one
but-
that you
but-
arm wrestled.
yeah, but you're talking about the big strong man, or
I'm talking about Kirill Sarchev, the world bench press guy, the Russian.
or
He trains at dentist and stuff too, and he looks pretty good.
yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that
Yeah,
much.
big boy, big hand.
Yeah.
Big boy, big hand. So I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard to say.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard assessment to make
Yeah.
because we don't know what Brian's level is.
Yeah.
You know what Valera's level is, but you know what Valera's level was a year ago.
Yeah.
I think
And
you're
if-
better than you were a year ago.
If
you
he's
know?
still doing it like hard,
Yeah.
I guess he's better now. And that's the thing with I've done strongman myself and hang around with the best strongmen in the world. I pull a lot of them. So some of them have some connection, and some of them are strong as fuck in everything, but they don't have the connection. So
Isn't that the craziest thing?
Yeah.
Like you will see a guy who can obviously hold on to a ton of weight because he's doing farmer's walks with it, whatever. So his hand must be freakishly strong. But when you grab a hold of him, there's no connection.
yeah, we had one guy in Norway. He was a big guy, 180 kg. I think he was at some point the strongest in Norway in both biceps curl and pulls and everything. But and a big hand, long forearm. So that's a
the
good
arm
arm
wrestler,
wrestler. Was not. Was no connection. And we tried to learn, tried. He could even. I'm serious. He couldn't beat the girls in my club.
Holy crap.
If they got him into a hook, he was just.
Struggle.
Yeah. So you never know.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. And this is off topic from what we're currently talking about, but so many people, because they believe the hype, they listen, or whatever, they think that somebody is going to come in from some other sport, and that's who's going to be Levan.
Yeah. That's not the case.
I
No.
cannot think that that's the case.
No.
I personally think it's going to be an arm
If
wrestler.
that happened, we can quit. Okay, this.
I mean,
That's
seriously,
it.
if you dedicate so much of your life to this craft and someone comes in with
Yeah.
like just off the street and beats Levan, the highest level the sport's ever seen, that would be ridiculous. So I personally think it's going to be an arm wrestler. You know what I mean? I personally think it's an arm wrestler. And I think it's
I don't think. I know.
Okay.
I know for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you're not talking about 10 years training or anything.
yeah, if you're talking who's going to beat Levan,
Yeah.
it's going to be an arm wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Yeah.
like I said, obviously I have that goal. Gennady and I have the exact same goal. Like we want to win our match because the winner of that match pulls Armies, the winner of that match pulls Levan.
Yep.
Like that is very, very straightforward. Like it's not like there's a whole lot of guessing what you have to do.
No.
He's got to beat me or I got to beat him, and then one of us has to beat Hermes, and that's it. That's how quick this path is.
It is.
So like we're talking today, I can't focus past Gennady.
No.
Gennady has to be the only thing I care about because I have to get that win.
Yeah.
And then after that win, then the focus narrows, and then there we are.
Almost
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
who knows? Like
Yeah,
who knows?
So Zombo Fitness, which you guys were just talking about, Kirill, who's a bench press champion.
Yeah, former world bench presser. Yeah, 700
what
plus
he
pounds.
wants to know is, hey, how important is bench pressing for arm wrestling?
You want to take it? You going to take an answer
depends.
first? Yeah.
Of course, it's good to have a certain level, but if you bench 150 or you bench 250, I don't think that matters that much. Not if you have a what you call it, the basic style. Maybe like
He's talking kilograms, guys.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
330
Yeah,
pounds up
kilograms.
to 550 pounds.
But for my style, like I do the press, it may be more important. When I was at my best at arm wrestling pressing, I did 260 kg bench press.
So
I
260
think it
kg,
helped
just
me.
to put that in perspective,
Yeah.
is 572 pounds.
That's a whole hell of a lot of bench.
That's a lot of bench.
So now when I'm skinny, I'm down a lot, but
Yeah.
I still can press a little bit
Clearly,
at the table. Yeah.
I'm very much aware.
But,
Yeah.
but maybe in center I've lost most.
The beginning
Yeah,
spot, but once
yeah.
I don't think there's a significant difference in your top end once you're inside.
No. I think
With
the
this
centers-
initial
yeah,
position,
yeah.
the bench probably the lighter weight probably
Yeah.
plays that role. But
So my answer would be it's a little bit style thing, and
so
I don't think it's the most important.
let me tell you my answer
Yeah.
to that. If you have a fundamental base and you understand how arm wrestling works, increase in strength anywhere improves you as an arm wrestler. That's my belief. I've always believed that. If you know how to arm wrestle, being stronger anywhere can be applicable to the table. Now, does that mean you have a 700-pound bench and have no idea how to arm wrestle? Does that help you with arm wrestling? No.
No.
Not at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so funny because you'll have people off the street say, that guy's stronger than you. You just know technique. I'm like, no, his bench press muscles are stronger than mine. My arm wrestling muscles are highly developed.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously technique is very important, but at the end of the day, this is a strength sport. It's just a very specific strength. You know, it's completely different than traditional strength.
Okay, I just want to remind everybody in the chat to please go ahead and hit that like button, thumbs up, and this is a good time to send out the link to your friends via social media, text, whatever, tell them to jump on. You guys fire these questions at Monster Michael, Todd, and Lars. We only have Lars here tonight.
I know.
He goes back tomorrow.
But we did watch some Tulsa King the other night at the
Yeah.
theater, so
Yeah.
that was cool.
Oh,
we
yeah, that was
enjoyed
cool.
that.
And let me tell you guys, so I've been cooking for this a lot. And Lars can put away some food. And usually when I cook for Michael for the day, I turn around and it's gone at one meal. And I'm looking at Michael and he's like, I just can't eat as much as I used to. I'm like, well, somebody's eating. So Lars is like hungry, guys. He's putting it
And that's
away.
so funny because the first thing he said was, dude, how are you so big and you don't eat much? I'm like, I normally eat a lot more than this. I have not been able to eat for like a month now, you know, so.
We got a super chat from Phil Woody. Phil Woody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Phil is over there in the UK. Like a lot of Lars' friends are over there in Europe as well. It's very late. What time is it at home right
Late. He's 7 hours past this.
7 hours past us.
Yeah, so
It should
that would be
middle of the night.
Yeah, 2:30 something. Yeah,
now?
2:30.
Ooh, that's longer than I want to be awake.
Right.
Phil Woody drops a super chat. He says, great seeing Team West working together. Lars rocks. I forgot that he added you guys to Team West.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Western Europe is now part of Team West.
Yeah.
You asshole. You know what?
No,
You totally could have been in Lars' corner
I'm an asshole.
because it was West.
You're right. Listen, I can't work anybody's corner.
He can't.
I mean,
Or he gets upset.
I wasn't in Corey's corner. I can't work any corners.
No.
Now at this level that I'm doing and I have to be focused,
We
I
have-
cannot let any of my adrenaline go before it's time to release it.
We have found that out the hard way.
I did.
Michael was actually in Corey's corner and found that he was a little bit drained from his own match.
Dude, I had adrenaline drop like crazy after him pulling
Yeah,
free.
wanted to take a nap over there.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that's-
crap.
Still
This doesn't
learning.
look good.
Still learning.
Still learning, right? Yeah, not
Thank
too old to
you
learn.
so
Not too
much.
old to learn.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Phil. Yeah.
Connolly family is in the house as well. Nino Perez says, at what time do you usually go to bed, Michael?
Well, so
Phil Woody said it's 1:30 a.m. by the way there. He says
yeah,
Monster
1:30 there is 2:30 where he lives because
He
he's
says,
7
no,
hours.
no, he's
Yeah.
saying, at his, he says Monster Mania never sleeps.
There you go. Love it. Love it. Yeah, man. So we normally, not when Lars is here, but we get in bed, what, by 8:30 or 9? But we may not go to sleep.
Michael Todd keeps
It's so bad. I keep starting a new series.
And next thing you know, it's like 1 or 2 in the morning.
And I'm like, this is stupid. I need to sleep, you know?
So you want to know why I can't be productive and why you guys don't get to see any more
But you may now do the same thing
because
as me.
I'm having to
Just get rid of TV
till
entirely.
Get rid of the TV, and you have
Right?
more time for stretching,
That's exactly-
More time for stretching.
dogs,
He's like,
everything.
Lars is here to fix our life.
Yeah.
Yes, he's like, Michael, quit taking all of your vitamins and shit before you eat. That's stupid. And get rid of the TV. You'll be much more productive. Life fixed.
Life fixed right
You
there.
guys, you just thought you were seeing 2.0. You're fixing to see something whole, like, different.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Different level.
That's
Al
funny.
Sim says, laugh my ass off. Play next episode. Are you still watching? Just one more episode, right? Oh, you go.
We're gonna watch 10. I'm gonna watch the first 10 minutes of this. We'll stop it.
And then we'll stop. And next thing you know.
So listen, it's not me though. We started watching Heels, and my wife is now a wrestling fan. This is horrible. I had no idea. This girl is ate up with some wrestling at this point. Now we're watching the McMahon series,
Freaking love
and
it.
the McMahon series really is tripping us out because we didn't have all the behind the scenes about all that shit. Like I was kind of a wrestling fan since I was a kid,
For real.
off and on. And I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of drama. Like there's a lot
For
of
real. So
yeah.
y'all, if you have Netflix, right?
Yeah.
You got to watch Heels and then watch the McMahon series.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's about Vince, right? And his
Right.
whole
Everything he
career,
did, his whole life, like
everything.
getting the business from his father to
He's
going.
a little jacked up. Everybody is in that whole organization, but I'm completely
Some of the scripts and stuff that he
attached.
tried to come up with were like, hey dude, that's a little weird.
that's weird. I'm
That's a
glad
little,
his daughter turned that one down.
that's a little peculiar there, Holmes.
That would not work out.
Yeah.
So XAYC says, yes, it's very specific. If you take some of the most important strengths in arm wrestling, for example, pronation and internal shoulder rotation, demonstrate internal shoulder rotation. Is that like that?
I guess this is, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. What'd you say? I mean,
You're not listening to me? when I talk? Yes, it's very specific. If you take some of the most important strengths in arm wrestling, for example, pronation and internal shoulder rotation, they are not trained in other strength sports. He's talking about it's more than.
of course, there's
Yeah.
very specific
Yeah,
strengths. Yeah,
it
I mean,
is.
a guy who arm wrestles never even. I mean, there's when we first started, how many people didn't even train in the gym? They just arm wrestled.
Yeah. Was a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you see this guy with one massive arm and no real muscle development anywhere else or size anywhere else because he just arm wrestled.
But I think if you're a beginner, that's better to do a lot of arm wrestling than to try to do everything in the gym and not,
Absolutely.
because you need to learn the movement collection and
Right.
everything.
Then I tell everyone, you first arm wrestle as much as possible. Not everyone has the same hand. Nobody pulls the same. The more hands you feel, the better you're going to be. It's just at where I'm at currently,
Yeah.
I am so obsessed with my programming that I don't want to fail. That I'm like, yep, I'm not going to arm wrestle. And then obviously I arm wrestled and failed. So like, it's like, I mean, I knew it was coming. Like it was impossible for me not to, but how do I let you be here and us not get back on the table and pull and no?
MC says he got rid of the TV a decade ago, by the way. He said it was a life changer.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. I
Okay.
told you.
I told you. Listen
It
here,
is.
homie. I'm
It is
telling
for
you.
sure.
Yeah.
You get so much more time. I couldn't do the things I do with training and my dogs and family and my business if I had a TV. It's not possible.
No, because you're watching all Sylvester Stallone shit, all Arnold shit. I mean, because
Yeah,
you're obsessed with strength, right? Like, you know,
Yes.
and there's so many more documentaries now.
Yeah.
Like there's shit that really gets you invested into other people's lives, and you're like, oh, this sucks.
I drive a lot between work and between mountains and everything, so I listen to podcasts where I like to learn something
Okay,
and use
yeah.
my brain. And
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
but I can't drive and
No, you can't. Yeah, yeah.
So Cindra Holland again says it's been nice to follow you through this week on YouTube and other social media. I'm glad that you've enjoyed it. We've really enjoyed it a lot. I want to let me find it. Okay. Have you ever? Oh yes, Billy Johnson, Reacher on Prime. Have you watched it?
Oh my God, love it.
Yeah. Lars, this is MC. What is your biggest takeaway from a week with MMT?
It is how much you can do if you do it high reps, and you don't, a lot of the work you don't go near failure. You just blood flow
Yeah.
all the time. And I'm still sore, but I'm already the things we do, I'm
Yeah.
doing it better, even if I'm sore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In the beginning I was like, what? Every day, and then we should go to the table and my hand was totally blown. It's already in 1 week. It's getting better. So,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's huge, right?
Well, the thing is, just like today. So today we did our like he did above and beyond what I did for legs. But inside my leg workout, which is a 450 rep leg workout, inside that, okay, if you're training legs, you're not thinking arm wrestling, right? You're not thinking anything other than training legs. But the way this place is set up, inside a leg workout, you can do reverse wrist rows, forward wrist rows, cable pulls, and get an entire flexor, hand, wrist, forearm training during a leg workout and still get it done pretty quickly. So we did all that. I mean, I basically, and this is just not me speaking for you, but just how the training adapts is I just apply arm wrestling, hand and wrist stuff to every workout, regardless of what the workout is. And that's what he's talking about, volume and daily training.
Yeah.
So it's just, I made arm wrestling, the way I train for arm wrestling, very similar to a manual labor job that you must go to every day.
Yeah.
So you just must do the work every
So
day.
does it get monotonous for you?
100%. That's why it was cool to have someone new here,
Right.
so they can experience the newbie gains and just feel it and understand it, right? So it's kind of like when we did our personal training business. We both have been in phenomenal condition, but it just kind of gets old. And then you see that person who's finally getting to change their fitness in their life, and you see how much it changes them even more on a deeper level than just aesthetically. That inspires you and motivates you, makes you even want it more.
Right.
So kind of having him here reinvigorates my passion for what I'm doing instead of it just being monotonous, like you said. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Sergeant Tank has got an idea, and I'm going to expand on it because his idea gave me a great idea. You ready? He says, can the TV stay? If weights are strapped to it and some cardio is involved, much love to y'all. What if we could hook something up to the TV that it would not even come on or stay on unless you were actively working out?
Yeah, so we powered the TV
Power
through our
to the
exercise.
bike or the treadmill
Yeah.
or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, that might be a multi-million-dollar idea
like
right
you
there.
have to like hook up like
Yeah.
sensors to you.
As
And
soon
the
as you
moment-
stop, gone.
Done, it goes off.
Right in the middle of some important
Yeah.
shit, like, damn it, I gotta work again. Let me rev this
You're like,
sucker
I was just
back
trying
up.
to catch my breath. I was taking a drink of water. It just went off.
That's pretty funny.
That might be my $1 billion idea.
Yeah, might be.
Just solved it. Solved the problem right there, right? So, so big arm wrestling question about rehab. This is Vitor de Vigor. Inflammation in the underarms. How do you treat it? Cold water massage, or I need tips and tricks? Apparently, this poor fellow.
I see how him treat it. High reps, blood flow, blood flow, blood flow.
Right, and then so after we arm wrestled the other night, and Jeremy just asked if we arm wrestled more. Lars got on the table yesterday with Sal. Sal Rios came up from Louisiana, so they did a little bit more pulling yesterday. But yeah, so always high volume, always high volume, always high volume to rehab, recovery, get blood heals damaged tissue. But something I've done for 30 years is what we did the other night, and that's fill your sink full of ice, cold water, and you even added some ice blocks to it, and just submerge your whole arm for 15 minutes, pull it out, rub it down real dry, icy hot rub, wrap a towel for 20 minutes, feels like you got a fresh arm.
You do the switch as well, cold, hot, to get the blood flowing more.
So I've got to get my cold plunge back hooked up, I got to replace the filter. We initially cold plunge, hot tub. Then she did some research and it said better just to do the cold plunge without the hot tub.
Yeah.
So what we do is we will do our morning cardio, then we'll do a 20-minute sauna session, and then move from the sauna to the cold plunge.
The reason I was saying that, though, baby, was not for your muscle recovery. It's better to do the cold plunge without the hot tub if you're wanting to drop body fat, because your body then has to heat
back up.
and it's burning more calories.
I think you have to try what works best for you, because the research isn't really clear. So some say avoid cold water after training. You should first do hot, and then you can do cold.
Yeah,
and some say
I've heard you can do cold before training.
Yeah.
But if you do cold after training, it stops your muscle growth.
Yeah.
I think that would be the same thing as taking.
But depends how hard you go. If you do a really hard arm wrestling workout, you get so much damage. So maybe then cold water is better.
Right.
And that's what we did. So,
Yeah, it's definitely what we did.
Yeah.
But all I know is if you do what we did the other night, your arms feel better the next day.
Yeah.
I just know that for a fact because it's been that way for 30 years.
Al Sim says, hook an alternator to a treadmill, into a converter, and then plug a TV into it. No, but I'm wanting it to translate to even just like weight training, you know, so he's in there doing.
As long as I'm hitting pronation lifts, the TV's on.
Yeah, you know, something like that. You would catch the monster working out 16 hours a day. You know,
Because I have to watch all my shows.
Yeah. So Roberto says, how many hours do y'all train per day on weights?
How much do you do back home?
Depends what my goal is. But normally I do, like now when I'm trying to get a little bit stronger, I do one gym workout, and it could be between 45 minutes and 2 hours. But if I'm going to get in good shape for look good and shredded, I do one in the morning, one in the evening.
So
and then I do
split it up.
cardio.
Yeah.
So then I do 3 workouts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what I normally do is a morning circuit, or morning training, which involves my pronation, my rods of pronation, back pressure cupping, and static holds. Then I go into wrist rolls combined with battle ropes, pronated rope pulling, and rice bucket. That would be a morning circuit for me. The second session during the day would be whatever body part I'm training that day. And then that would be that body part, high volume with spinning handles if it's back. If it's arms, it's going to be riser engagement, different handles used for that, always with cable pulls. So I'll incorporate cable pulls. So my arm wrestling morning training circuit probably lasts, 45 minutes?
Yeah, we've done about 45.
Yeah, and then my normal workout, it's another 25. I mean, it's 15. I can do it all in 15, but when you start adding in the cable pulls and everything else with it, it extends to about 30. So it's probably an hour or a little over an hour a day of weights.
But you're a pro, so you can structure your day.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I have different. We do a lot of things with my company. So when I do security, it's not much physical. Maybe if you get into a fight, but normally not that much. Then I can do more. And other times I do like snow shoveling physically or lumberjack, and then I have to
Taper it
Taper
down.
down.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to adjust it to whatever.
Yeah, and a lot of
requires
people I
you.
think have it that way.
And you were saying the same about your nutrition too. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
adjust your
yeah,
nutrition
yeah.
to what your
Yeah.
work life
Oh,
is.
he's like, when he's doing his hard work, he's like, I got to have 10,000 calories a day just to fuel my
10,000,
body.
yeah. A lot of people, when they say that in interviews back home, oh, that's bullshit, but it's not.
Yeah.
I do 10,000 easily when I will.
I have no doubts.
And you see, I'm not 10,000 here, but I don't work that much here, but I think I'm pretty high here as well.
Oh, you're probably 5,000-6,000
Yeah,
calories
yeah.
here, just here.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's without you having immediate access to the food that you would have back home. Right?
No, and I don't hike for
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours. So it's
Yeah.
just 1 hour each evening in a treadmill, so it's not
Right.
necessary.
So Jeremy Parker wants to know, hey Jeremy, how did the pulling with Sal go?
How'd you like pulling with Sal yesterday?
Yesterday,
Yeah.
I was strong. Good hand.
Yeah.
Hard, but it's a little bit hard for me to say because I'm so well down.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Jeremy, you like wore him down along with Michael and I mean
Everything.
All the training, but
Oh, you're broken.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it was, and even Sal said, he's like, if you pull Lars and as he's sinking in his open top row, you feel comfortable until you try to go sideways.
And then you're shit.
And then you're like, why did my wrist just get buckled? And I mean, and I think that's why Jeremy has a proficient, is comfortable pulling with you because he's pulled with me a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like rarely do I open up enough to let him get to those angles, but he's so familiar with it, right?
Yeah.
Because he's so familiar, he knows where to go, right? So, but Jeremy, like we talked about the other day, I mean, the kid's 21 years old, been arm wrestling for a year and a half.
Strong.
And it's just the access to information that this generation of arm wrestling has compared to us is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, we got Benji Mack on, one of our moderators, and Devin's forearm. Hey guys, I saw 6-0 switcheroo earlier. These are all of our moderators that help us out, Lars.
Yeah.
When we get back to having monster factors, they're so important.
Right.
Let me get back to where I was. Okay. Oh, this is okay. I'm gonna tell you a little story. Word to your piano. He says, would it be messed up to go to an arm wrestling tournament with pink eye and potentially spread it? Have either one of you guys ever gone and competed when you knew that you might have a contagious virus or something? Has that happened? Or do you stay home out of the greater good?
I've never been sick. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've grabbed many a hands when I shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying?
You have done this for so long time, we don't remember.
I seem to remember a Monster Factory 2.
Oh, that John Brzezin got everybody sick?
Well, I wasn't going to say his name.
It was John Brzezin. That's who did it. Everybody got COVID. So, I mean,
A goat came here sick from Mexico. Next thing you know, everybody's testing positive for COVID. And John's like, it ain't me. It ain't me.
Yeah, that's how that went.
That was fantastic. That was
Yeah.
fantastic. Benjamin Max says, hey, MMT and
What's up, what's up?
Lars. Thank you so much. Brian Franzen has got a super chat. Thank you so much for your super chat.
Appreciate it, Brian.
But before I read that, LCM says, keep your pink eye at home. So Brian Francis says, do you believe fully surrounding your arm in ice or a cold sleeve between rounds of a super match would prevent swelling?
Probably, but I think there's an equal amount of risk from injury if you're going straight back to arm wrestling. So if you just did it between rounds, yes, you may not have the pump, but now instead of being warm, now you're colder again, and things could potentially pop.
Yeah.
Because
That's what I think. I mean,
do you agree?
Yeah, I
with
agree
that?
for sure. I would not do that, but it may work. But
Have you ever had somebody rub your arm down with ice during a
yeah,
match?
you know, back in Norway, sometimes it's so cold. Just walking from the car to the gym, you get, and it's so uncomfortably to lift heavy. Then you need a long time for warm up when your body is cold. So
and could you imagine 0 to? I mean, as soon as you say go, going as hard as you could, and then icing your arm and then doing it again.
no, I don't think that's a good.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the theory, but I
Yeah, I
don't
understand
think
the
the
theory.
risk versus reward is there for me. You know, it's not something I think I would do. I would rather just see you do some air squats in the corner to get that pump out of your arm.
That's the thing I noticed with arm wrestling. I do a lot of different sports like decent level, and they're so focused on warm up.
Yeah.
Arm wrestlers like top level like you and Levan, don't warm up, but
Yeah.
you're staying warm.
Yeah,
You're sweating and your body is warm in the competition, and
Right.
you don't go there with an ice
Right.
bucket arm.
yeah. So it is kind of funny that what's going on, babe?
No, I'm just going to go get a plug for my computer real quick, but and while I do that, I'm going to have to disappear for just a second. So I wanted to let you guys keep chatting, but after that, Sandra Holland wants to know, Lars, whoops, wrong way, went to the wrong one. Get back up there. Do you get enough arm wrestling training in Norway?
Do you get hard enough arm wrestling training in Norway? Is what he said.
Oh, yes.
Sindra is wondering.
Yeah.
Of course, I have Sindra. He's a really strong guy. It's a lot of strong guys there. So,
Yeah.
but of course, it's not they are really strong, but it's not that they can rip me like
Well, yeah. I mean,
you can.
I mean, we established what's
But
happening.
is
you know,
that
yeah.
necessary to do that often? Like
So
Sindra have a crazy strong hand.
Right.
Without strap, is
very good.
He's strong.
So here's my belief on that. I have always practiced how I compete, and I've gotten a lot of criticism for it.
Yeah.
But my belief is, if you're going to take your car to the drag strip and you see the light hit green, do you just slowly apply pressure on the throttle, or do you nail it?
But how often do you can't go too often now? Like me,
Well, I was all the time with Corey. Like every time Corey got here, it's a ready go.
Yeah.
And think about the level of Corey. So
Yeah.
every time it's fucking bam, we're hitting as hard as we can. And now I'm not doing as much, but I still don't warm up. Like I still don't warm up. So you don't have to be ripped open to be better. But I do believe when you can get as broke down as you have been this week, you will progress higher from this week than months of normal training.
Hopefully.
I think once you recover from this week, I think your level is already improved because you got opened up in all the fundamental areas that you need to be worked on, right? So I don't know. I think that helps that way, but I don't recommend it all the time, especially if you're being extremely active. If you're competing regularly, it takes a while to heal from this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and people talk about me overtraining, and I think it's under recovering at times. I think because we are so passionate about what we do, and because we expect such high results from ourselves, right? We think that we should be able to accomplish great things. I mean, I talk about both of us because we both have a similar craziness about us. But it isn't that we train too hard. It's just you under recover, in my opinion.
But my idea, and I see a lot of pros do that. They like, show you, you can go hard,
Yeah.
but if I get this on you,
Right.
we stop.
Right.
And we go back.
Right.
Like I'm not open and you not open. If you do that every training, I think that's
Corey and I
a
did
lot
that.
of a lot of people don't do that.
A lot of
wrong.
people don't do that. No.
Yeah.
And John Brazine never did it either. But me and Corey and everyone I've ever, Bruce, everybody I've ever trained with, we would go hard.
Yeah.
You know, and if I was stronger, then I'd go hard with the band. I'd
Yeah.
pull them and a band until we got even, and then we just go hard.
Yeah, but
you know?
did you go into all this crazy
Oh, yeah.
position
Yeah.
every time?
Rebecca's like, "What are you doing? That's what you're doing. One of y'all are gonna get hurt." I'm like, "Shut up, we know what we're doing." You know what I'm saying? And I mean,
No, and that's what I'm telling people that I think I said.
but I'm not doing as much of it anymore. Like
No.
I don't. Yeah.
No.
So you finally learn.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
understand when Lars asked Michael, so you finally learned. He literally finally learned in the last prep. That's how recent it's been. Going into everybody, you know, he was like, I would hear him say things like, I can't accept that super match because that would only give me 4 weeks or 3 weeks or something, you know, to prepare after having a super match. I'm like,
No, wait, this is her question. No, she goes, "So when's the last time you normally arm wrestle Corey before a big match?" I'm like, "Oh, about 2 weeks." She goes, "Well, how hard do you and Corey go?" "Oh, we go all out." "Well, how's that not the same as a super match?" I'm like, "That's a good point." You know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody,
you know, because I
somebody
mean,
commented, oh no, it's different. Practice is different. No, it's not. Not when you're watching Michael Todd and Corey.
yeah,
because
practice is
they
not
don't quit.
different for us. You know what I'm saying?
They don't quit. They do ready goes, and they are looking to break the other's arm off.
Well, the thing about Corey and I that's so similar is like Corey's like, I won't even let my niece win at tic-tac-toe. Like I fucking hate losing, right? So we get on the table and we're both really competitive, so it doesn't work out, you know. So we are strategically having less table time, you know,
Yeah, and let me
just
tell
so that we can progress.
And let me tell you about the weight that I thought I carried to Corey. That I clearly do not. All right, because when you enter this house, you know, even people have been here at Monster Factory. I think the very first Monster Factory, they might be here in the chat. Someone was like, all I remember is day one, Rebecca standing barefoot on top of a table and telling all of us she would bury us. And I did that. I was like, you hurt my husband, I will bury you out there somewhere. And what I was talking about was on a practice table, right? I mean, he's...
But I think especially for people not with your experience, like medium or, but maybe even for you, you do all this high rolling. What about going to the table and
Just working around on the table.
walking around, get a pump?
Yeah, I do it when like that's the other thing. So I would have these practices, and I would do king of the table and arm wrestle everybody.
Yeah.
And Rebecca's like, "You got to quit doing it." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You're letting everyone hit you. You're gonna get used to letting everyone hit you, and you're not gonna be fast in a match."
Yeah.
And that is true.
Yeah.
You get very comfortable being comfortable, like, okay, I'm gonna work my way out of this, and oh, you
did
feel
that
great, you know.
For like 3,000
Along,
matches.
I did a lot of that.
Yeah.
But that's different from you and most people. You're so high level. I think most people need to be on the table, need to work.
Oh no, I agree 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like because I've done it so many. Think about this. I'm in my 35th year
Yeah.
of never stopping competing. You know what I mean?
So that's different.
Yeah, so
Normal
I mean-
people can't.
Absolutely. I mean, I just to the point now, like I don't even need to arm wrestle
So
because
you shouldn't do the same advice for
no
normal people.
I don't
that
get. I
you
tell
do.
them I don't.
Don't do
I
like
rarely
me.
recommend do what I do.
but
You know what I'm saying?
it's the same with people coming to me. I want to have your training program, like untrained people. I don't think you should try doing what I do. You need at least 10 years to adapt.
How about that? You
Yeah.
need 10 years to adapt to this shit.
Yeah, if you, yeah.
Michael
Yeah.
doesn't tell people
I know
what he does
about
now.
arm wrestling, but general.
No,
fitness,
100%. 100%. Yeah, I mean.
Michael used to tell people, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. I don't do that. And I've never done that. And I would go, Michael, hold your arms up.
And then
And
my.
he'd go. I was like, see?
You shouldn't do any stretching.
That's fantastic.
that's exactly
he was
right.
great. He was
Yeah.
so great to have around here. Okay, Aussie tanks. Basically, this is going to come down to, hey, what do y'all think about Devin and Jerry? Or not Devin and Jerry. What do y'all think about Jerry and Levan?
So he says, what the hell is Devin saying? Jerry can beat Levan? I haven't been watching. Has he said that recently?
He has said that he could. It could happen. I've seen that before. He thought that you and him, because y'all have that weirdo arm wrestling thing, that one of you two would probably be the best chance, is what he has said.
Right.
Unless something has happened that I don't know. That's the last that I heard. You let me know, Aussie Tanks. So what do y'all think about that match?
I think that Armenian arm wrestler said that this is a cool Alexei Tim Breslin poster, but really it's a Michael Todd Truman poster.
Let me turn it over there.
Just saying, this is the focal point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anything is possible. I mean, anything's possible. I don't think Jerry's going to beat Levan, but it's not impossible. I just don't think that's the lane. But if Devin's saying he thinks Jerry can beat him now more than any recent comments that he'd said in the last month or so, then maybe he knows something I don't know. Jeremy Parker said he'd like to see you and Frank Lamparelli. You talked about that, didn't you?
Yeah, I think that would be.
Yeah, I think that's a good one too.
So what are y'all ranked? You and Frank are in the same.
Oh, where is the ranking?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen a new ranking, but we was.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
You were 6th and he was 9th.
Okay.
When I beat him, he was 9th. When I beat you, you were 6th.
Yeah, and I think he had 2 losses and I have 2 losses after that.
So
So
I don't know where y'all sit at.
Now, Frank's match at East versus West was not a 115 match, and neither was yours.
No.
So.
How does that affect the ranking?
It shouldn't.
It should not. So that's a good point as well. I'm going to see what I can find
because Frank pulled a super.
Yep.
And they made you guys meet at 110.
Yeah.
Which was odd.
Yeah, that was the wrong system there. I'm just looking. Last time I saw it though, it was that's 105.
Benji Mac, while he's looking for that, Lars, have you gotten to try the legendary sourdough bread?
Was that the one we're having today?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
That's also what you had for French toast.
I'm sitting and thinking about it now. When we finish this, we're gonna eat again.
He's like, you said
have some food? I'm hungry.
there's some more spaghetti and there's some more sourdough. All right, so here we go. What was that?
No, that's 105, I guess.
Devin's Pancake says, don't you just think that Levan might just go inside and beat him there? Talking about Jerry.
No, I don't
I think that would be hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
For Levan to go inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why would he? Why would you turn in when you have the best hand and wrist and pronation and back pressure in the sport?
Oh crap! Al Sims, you crack me up, Al. He says, I describe the Jerry and Levan match as, well, imagine Levan pulling the wing off a cooked chicken.
Well, that's bad.
That's bad. That is terrible.
That does not seem ideal.
Jerry is really strong now. I
is.
think he's more serious than ever, and you saw him what he did to Kodacha, so you're never gonna know.
So these rankings are old, but it had you at 6th and Frank at 9th.
Yeah.
So it's Devin, Prudnik, Mashinko, Reno, Sandris, you, Lachlan, Pavlo, Frank, Matt. So Matt would move up ahead of you. Well, no, y'all's match wasn't. Well, I mean, it was.
Yeah, but Matt, I think he wants to stay on
105.
so
Yeah. So who knows? I mean,
who knows?
I like you and Frank. I mean, it's contrasting styles.
Yeah.
And you do have your opportunity to stick in the open top row too, right?
Armenian arm wrestler, I like him too. He says, great. Now Lars wants chicken wings for dinner. And the Drew says, who needs to train full extensions? I guess because of this.
Right. I don't know.
Let me turn. This is what I'm talking about.
That's when Michael straightens his arm.
It's
It's a little bit better now.
about like that now.
No, it's not that good.
I think it is. Have you guys went to eat sushi yet?
Yes, yes.
Oh, there you go.
We did yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was.
How much sushi did you put away?
I don't know how many plates I did because.
You had 3 total plates,
Yeah.
but it was a variety of food.
Yeah, it was. I have so many different things I have to try. So.
Yeah. Which was funny. So here's the deal. When I said I haven't eaten much since Lars has been here, Lars was like, I'm impressed with how much you ate. And I had 1 large plate, and Anton was with me.
One large plate.
Yeah. But I normally have 3 of those. You know, I normally have 3, and I was like, I can't believe I can't eat one. And that's when Lars was like, I'm impressed. That's good. The most I've eaten since Lars has been here has been 1/3 of the amount of food I normally eat. And that's the most, you know. So I've got to get all this stomach stuff going so I can get back to
gaining, right? Murphy is suggesting, Lars, have you pulled Sandra's?
No. No.
Are you interested in that match if it were at 115?
Yes, of course. He's great.
I think that would be a good match
great.
too. I would like to see that. Okay, Roberto, Larry Wills is not pulling anymore. He's actually put that out there. He's not into arm wrestling anymore.
How about this one, honey? Are we just going to ignore how Rebecca looks like she hasn't aged within the last 10 years? My girl's asking for the skincare routine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, how about when Lars, you told him how old you were? He's like, you're how old? He was like, what? You don't look that old.
No,
yeah.
Not sure. You look great.
Well, thank you so much. Wait. I saw, okay. Oh, that's where you read that. The winner of Michael versus Jerry.
Well, Jerry's already pulling Levan, so that
yeah, he's already pulling Levan. That match is already scheduled. And the thing is, someone was saying Jerry should have to pull you before he pulls Levan. No, Jerry's already jumped through the hoops.
Yeah, I mean, he got killed by Hermes, but then he
did.
came back and beat Gerdecha in a fashion that none of us thought coming.
Right.
So that earned him the spot.
Yeah.
I mean, that earned him the spot. It's in North America. The match is here. It only makes sense to have Levan face a North American.
So let's talk about who did Jerry beat? He beat
Gennady. Beat
Svetkov.
Svetkov.
Gerdecha
Lost to Hermes.
and Gerdecha.
Yeah.
Lost to Hermes, then beat Gerdecha.
Okay, so that's 3 top 10 people
Yeah.
that he beat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and this is the other thing. Levan cannot just always wait for the number 2. Like, we cannot just wait for somebody to go beat Devin for the actual number 2 spot,
Yeah.
where Devin steps out, whatever.
Right.
And then only.
Well, it's the same way it is in fighting sports.
Right.
Like, the UFC champion does not always face the number 1 contender.
Right.
He may face the number 7 guy because that's who's available and who's not injured. You know what I'm saying?
And basically.
And you got to keep the champ active.
We need to see the champ active because he wasn't active for so long, right? So now we need to see him pulling different people.
And we all know styles make matches, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's not necessarily number 2 has to have the biggest shot at him. It could be number 3 or it can be number 4.
Right.
Right.
Right. Because if you look at that to even 15, if you're looking at the world, there are probably people that are ranked up here in the top that someone down here could beat, but it's just because they haven't had that match yet.
Right.
All right. So, Rice says, cool setup. I guess he's talking about how I've set up my little picture here in the.
Yeah.
Which flop do you think is more impressive, Lars? Cayman's straight down fast
I think that's supposed to be
press?
Camille's.
Oh, is that Camille's? Okay.
Yeah, they missed it.
Camille's straight down fast press or Jerry's chasing press?
We were talking about that last day. I think the difference between Camille has as much power as Jerry down here, but the thing with Jerry, he have the power all the way. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like Jerry can. I'm a little bit like Camille. I don't think I'm far behind them if I can get into my spot. But they are much stronger than Camille is much stronger than me here. Jerry is much stronger than me everywhere.
Like his endurance is surprisingly good.
Yeah. Like
You know?
Camille can't do what Jerry do like this.
Yeah.
I don't think. Not yet. Maybe he gets there.
Would you like to see that match just to?
Camille and Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I would like
That
to
would be
see it too.
crazy. They're
Just
both
to
great.
see who hits the press.
They're so
Like if they
strong.
both go press to press, who wins, right?
Yeah.
I'm very interested. Set that up again. Okay, let's see what
Yeah,
that
that's
looks
a big
like.
one.
I mean, right now, like I said, and like everyone said, Jerry gets a shot at Levan. Jerry's not looking at anybody else,
Right?
Nope.
and he shouldn't be.
No.
I mean, it's Levan. I mean, you're getting a golden ticket.
Do you think that we get to keep Jerry around if it doesn't work out his way? Does he have interest that long?
I hope so. He's. I think it's so impressive.
Do
What
you-
he can do without a strap, even.
Yeah, just hold on. So
He's got.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I'm worried
If
about
he
that.
loses this match, he will have went all in.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And he's
Like
such a family
took
man.
time away from his family, took time away from his career.
I'm worried about that.
Without a victory, it would be hard to find similar motivation again, in my opinion.
Because you know how we usually say arm wrestlers don't retire, they die.
Yeah.
I always look at Jerry as somebody who could just walk away.
Well, he does for like 5 years at a
He
time. You
does.
know what I'm
He comes back.
He does.
saying? Yeah, he has on numerous occasions. You know, but
How about
Yeah.
you, Lars? You're someone that has walked away and then come back. What brought you back?
I get all these years I've gone. I got some offers occasionally, and then Engin and Devon called me last fall and asked if I will join King of the Table, and I was thinking, if I don't join now, I will never join. So, okay, that's a great opportunity, getting paid to travel again and do what I love. But I didn't know my level, so I did what I could that last week and just jump into
And you
it.
did good.
I did good.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did good.
yeah,
And it was so fun. And see all the people and camaraderie and wrestle
Michael says
again.
it's always just like a big family.
Yeah, it
thing.
is. So you miss them when you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is very infectious to be among the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, it's whenever we get to an event, it's just so much fun to see everybody.
And it's like
You
the
know,
thing we were talking
listen
about,
to
like
stories.
the hand and forearms you can keep so long. It's like a sport.
Yeah.
I'm 45 and that's not old in arm wrestling, but it will be very hard to go back to strongman high level at 45.
Yeah. 'Cause it's so
Maybe you could, but your back or your knees, I will not risk that.
very hard on the body, right?
Very hard on the body.
Very hard.
Arm wrestling is different, so that's so great about that
Well,
sport.
chat, jump out and hit that thumbs up if you are really happy to have Lars back into arm wrestling, because I think he is a great personality for arm wrestling. How about you, Monster? What do you think? I think we missed him. He's a good personality for arm wrestling.
Who?
Lars.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Me.
This guy, dude.
Going, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
I was reading something and I got confused.
Oh.
Yeah, man, I'm super happy to have Lars. Like I said, there's very few people. Okay, there are very few people that I would aspire to be like. And Lars is one of those people. Because he motivates me to be better. You know what I mean? Because very rarely in my chosen field is someone going to outwork me. You know what I mean? Like the work that is required to be an elite world-class level arm wrestler. Very rarely is someone going to outwork me. But I am more than just an arm wrestler. I always have been. I've just been an athlete. And to see the level in which the extremes at which you take fitness is nothing short of motivational.
Thank you.
To me, it's
I know
amazing.
you are a bit the same. I can see it when I do, like when I do the split thing up, and then I see, I want to do that. I want to do it. I can see it. I can feel it.
He is sending me.
Yeah.
He's like, look at this video right now. He's down there doing that right now.
I think
Not
that's
yet. Can we start with some easy stretches?
Yeah, it's like, I'm just going to rip my shit apart real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can do it. I'm just gonna make myself. I'm just gonna pull that string and make me go.
we're going to pull some kickboxer blood sport shit out.
Oh, please, guys, please don't do that.
But no,
yet.
just like having Lars, just like, and that's the thing. We talk about how much we love arm wrestlers, we love the community. But when we invite someone to our home to spend a week with us, I mean, it's because there's a certain degree of respect that I have for that person, or they wouldn't get the invite. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And this has been one of the best. I don't know if it's collaborations or just fringe. It's been one of the best weeks we've ever had anyone come.
for me as well.
I've
Really
loved it.
have a
I've loved
great
it.
time.
You know, so that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So, guys, we are planning on, for those of you who have not kept up with this, we are planning on making a trip to Norway also. We're looking at going around July, right, babe?
Yeah, babe.
It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm trying to figure out how to turn closed captions on. Someone was asking us to do
I
that.
saw that, but I don't know
And
how to do
I'm
it.
trying to figure it out, guys. Let me look at. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch. Okay.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
I can't figure it
Yeah.
out. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Yeah.
I think captions are not available.
Yeah, he
for live
says you
streams.
can't for live streams. So yeah.
Well, I saw a place where you can toggle it on, but I couldn't
Yeah.
right now.
It's all
so
good,
I think
baby.
I have to set it up pre-start of the. I don't think I can do it mid-roll.
We got
right?
Anton coming here in a minute to finish up some filming. So
A minute.
well, it said 8:10. It's 8:10 now. So he said
Oh.
he'd be here by 8:10. But you know, you never can trust that dude.
Trey Soup says my ancestors are from Norway. Well, that explains why you're tall, Trey.
See, Trey, he's another good martial artist.
Yeah.
So he actually trained at the Olympic Training Center in Taekwondo. Like he's
Yeah.
really
You
proficient.
coming here as well in
Well,
Muscle Factory?
yeah. So
Yeah.
he's the same height as us,
Yeah.
but he's thinner. So he's probably He varies between 180 and 200. You know what I mean? But very proficient with his kicks because it's Taekwondo, so he has pretty martial arts. You know,
that's a lot of
and he has some good weapons background, so he's pretty good with weapons as well. But another person who is fun to have around because, like I said, arm wrestling is awesome, but I also want to be able to do the shit I used to could do. You know,
and kick some.
Yeah, exactly. Kick you upside the head. Why would I not want to kick you in
there? Nullenberger says another weird thing about Jerry is that he's always competitive, regardless of his hiatus from the sport. How many other competitors are capable of that?
Well, the thing that I think makes him so competitive is his uniqueness.
His weirdness.
Yeah, his
the X
weird,
factor.
the X weirdo factor. You know, it's just he has a style that he is very comfortable throwing the safety of his arm to the wind. You know,
and
complete disregard for the safety of his arm.
And you see so many people, they think they know how to be that style. I can beat him. I can beat him. You still see people disrespect him. Not disrespect, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. What
they don't have a clue.
You said it today. It's like I'm surprised at the people who just keep underestimating Jerry.
Yeah.
You know, after everything he does.
Yeah.
I mean, because there is a lane.
There is.
There's a lane that makes that match much easier.
Yeah, but
it's just you have to be strong enough to do it, and
it's not only you have to be. I think that line is very hard to do if you have a very tall form, and you need a specific strength in the. Yeah. Of course, there is a lane, but it's not easy.
No, and the thing is, like you were just saying,
I got all the time before when I was really big and strong and I did the pressing. So many people, I could beat him. Not many could. Of course, some could, but not many.
No, dude, it's so funny because, I mean, he keeps showing up and he's in the match. I mean, the thing is, unless you completely disengage him, he's in the match.
Yeah.
And what you don't want is him in the match.
No.
Because he goes forever.
Yeah.
That's the same with Gennady, right?
Yep.
You don't want him in the match.
Now you want to keep them out of their spots. You know what I mean? You want to take away any belief that they can win. Because the moment they think they can win, it gets ugly.
Yeah.
So Tori says, Michael, will you scream Opana when you beat Gennady?
I will turn and give all the glory and praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I will not be screaming Opana. Because this isn't about me.
No.
I mean, I'm doing the work, and I do have that warrior mentality that I'm known for and that we were talking about. But at the end of the day, this journey and this path that I'm on is not about how great Michael Todd is. It's about how great the Lord can work through me. And I truly believe that.
So can I play devil's advocate?
Yeah, and Anton, just to tell you, 15 minutes away, told that dude to be here. I was like, we're watching freaking Ride or Die, Bad Boys.
Well,
get your ass here. You know what I'm saying?
Like, Rebecca, shut up, I want some spaghetti.
That's exactly what he's saying.
So devil's advocate. And Lars, if you don't watch our lives, there's going to be at some point that I'm going to get personal with Michael here.
Okay.
Because if this is not your journey, why are you questioning some things?
Because that's the devil.
Because you feel like crap.
Well, I'm being attacked. Because that's what happens when you're trying to do something great and amazing for the Lord. You get attacked, right? And I know that that's what's happening to me. I just got to believe that God's will is still going to be done. It's still, I'm human. I'm flawed.
But he also has Lars here this week.
Yeah, he's my little angel on my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, dude, quit taking all those pills and energy time. Hey, don't do this. Hey, start stretching. How about you step up your cardio? You know what I'm saying? But like, it's so
Norwegian angel.
Norwegian angel. But it's seriously. I don't a lot of people. I don't know what people's faith and belief is. I just feel an inner peace about what's happening. Mm-hmm. It's October.
I know, but I did see something pretty awesome.
I know. So.
Do you want to send a picture? You don't want to show it?
No.
Not yet?
Nah, I don't want to show it yet. It's cool though, but
It's
yeah.
gonna be okay. You're gonna make it. So, guys, this is gonna be a tough month, but it's going to be a month that's leading into.
Well, the thing was, I wasn't expecting it because I've already had a tough month. You know what I mean? The attacks have came through my health and stuff this last month. So this has to be a good month for me. Yeah. So it's just one other way that I'm going to be challenged, you know. But yeah, it's going to work out.
Yeah, we have done some adjustment already. So
Exactly. We're
we
figuring things
know
out.
what
We're
we are
figuring
doing.
things out.
We figured out some major things. That
did.
Today,
gonna
yeah,
have you
definitely.
feeling a lot better.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
So excited about that.
Right.
So I have only seen Brazink and Todd beat Jerry in an over-pronated defensive position. I don't think anyone else has ever done that.
Yeah, someone just said, what would MMT think he'd had to, if he had to pull Jerry instead? Everyone overlooks Jerry but keeps winning. Hermes executed the match with Jerry perfectly. I don't understand what Murphy's saying. If I had to pull Jerry instead of Levan, like if Jerry beats Levan,
Or instead of Gennady,
I don't know where he's going with that. Because, like I said, I believe this is a journey that I'm on that where the Lord's worked through to prove that all things are possible through Christ. If Jerry was to defeat Levan, where's this journey? Where's this belief? Where does it go from there?
that answer will be given.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, I mean, this is just how I feel, right? So, if Jerry's a person I had to beat, that's it. But like I said, it's not about me beating anyone. I don't feel it that way. I don't feel like I have to prove how good I am. I don't think that's the thing. You know, I think there's been a lot of times in my life I had to prove that to myself, right? That's why I pushed and worked so hard, is because of my belief in what I was capable of. I don't even think it's about what I'm capable of anymore. I just think God blessed me with an ability to endure and to work and to get back up and to keep fighting. And that's just what I hope to showcase you. Right?
Yes. Hermes executed the match with Jerry perfectly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Michael said that over and over again. And I want to give a huge shout out to Paul Hicks and hope you are doing well, sir. I see you here in the chat. Because guess what time it is?
Spaghetti time.
It's spaghetti time. Yeah.
Spaghetti time.
Lars is so happy. Oh, did I believe? Oh, yeah, I did. I read that. I just had to make sure I read that super chat. And guys, thank you for being on. As always, if you have just tuned in, be sure that you click subscribe or follow if you're on Facebook or YouTube. And be sure that you turn on your notifications so that you know when we are live and when we upload the video of these two and Jeremy
Right.
arm wrestling.
Yeah. So, Aaron Russ, if Jerry beats Levan by some miracle, then I think Michael should still pull Levan first. How it would go, if I am victorious in these upcoming matches, and he's already said, beat Gennady, winner that pulls Hermes, winner that pulls the winner of Levan and Jerry. So if Jerry by somehow beat Levan, and I did beat Gennady and Hermes, I would then pull Jerry, and then my want would be to defend against Levan.
Defend against Levan.
Yeah.
Give Levan the opportunity
100%.
to come back and claim it. Yeah.
That's what I would think would be the right thing to do.
Yes.
Still got a lot of work to get to even, all these are ifs and ands and whatever's, right?
You gotta
Gennady's
figure
the
out
only
who's
thing I'm
right in
focused
front of
about.
you
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now.
I've got someone who wants to beat me every bit as bad as I want to beat them, right? And I think he honestly believes he's going to. I genuinely think that.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he did last time. Yeah, so I was listening to some of the, like Iraqli. Like, you know, we have great respect and we have a good relationship with all the Jordans, right?
Love all the Jordans.
Iraqli gave his predictions, and I saw it on that, wherever the guy, he takes someone, he just dubs over or whatever. He's like, Michael is on the rise right now. We don't know where Gennady is. I think it's going to be a good fight. Like, what's interesting is I'm not even being picked against by Georgians. They're like, this could be a badass match. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's like, oh, Gennady's going to kill him. Like, everyone.
Georgians have always had respect for you.
Yeah.
Always. You know, whenever we've met them and talked to them, they always.
Oh yeah, we want to. Our biggest problem with our travel and our desire to travel is
Not having our
we
dogs.
want to, and then we miss our dogs terribly.
bad.
When it's time to leave, I'm like, I don't want to go because I don't miss my dogs. And you see how much we
Yeah.
love our dogs like you love your dogs,
Yeah.
right?
And the cat.
I mean, listen, Misha's a part of the house now.
Yeah.
Misha's a part of this place. Misha is awesome. He is so sweet though.
He is.
And I'm a dog person, but Misha's got my heart. He's a sweetheart. All right, babe, where we go?
Alrighty, let's end this thing, guys. You've been awesome. Until next time. And everybody, be sure that you're following Lars on Instagram.
listen,
And Facebook.
the best Instagram on all of social
Hands
media.
down.
Like the pictures that you see from this guy,
It's amazing.
unbelievable. He has a cave.
Nuclear cave.
His gym is a nuclear shelter inside of a cave. That's his gym. Like the Monster Factory's cool, but I don't have my own cave. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have my own cave, baby. Why don't I have a cave? You know what I'm saying? Like, should I dig into the side of the mountain here and put a shelter in? I mean, is that what I need to do? I mean, I have a hill.
Lars already told
I have
me
a hillside.
There's no mountains here.
And he's like, this is flat.
Yeah.
This is flat.
It said mountain in the name, Lars. You know what I'm saying?
All right, guys.
All right.
Sign off. Let's get some.
Take care, guys. Be
spaghetti.
blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.